What is going on, everybody? This is Teasy. Monteasy, what's going on? I want to definitely give you guys a salute. Know what's up? Thank you guys for tuning in to another live. Gonna bring in my family, Miss Lynn Anoai, to talk about some business, wrestling, things of that nature. We have a whole lot to talk about, so go ahead and bring her. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's healthy.
Hello.
Hey, family, what's going on?
How are you?
Man, I am good. I am good. I am just I'm taking everything day by day, man. I've been in great spirits though. I've been in the studio a lot, spending time with my kids, spending time with my kids, working out, staying busy. But this quarantine's been really, really good for me. I've done a lot of soul searching on myself. How you been?
I have been great, and amen to all of that. Absolutely. I have been feeling really good, staying on track, taking care of my health, inspiring and motivating.
Absolutely, absolutely. First, with everything going on, how's the family been? How's Pops? How's the WXW family doing? How's everybody doing?
The family is good. Everybody's strong. Everybody's healthy.
Well, that's always what matters. That's always what matters. So let's start from the very beginning. I want to get right into it because I believe that entrepreneurship and business is something that I believe that a lot of people don't really understand the process and the time it gets into. So, but you have a motivating story that goes behind what your brand is, what your business is. I lost the game. So first, tell us a little bit about that, how it got started, and the idea that sparked it.
I was fat. Okay, so here it is. I had all my life, I had been, the normal size, healthy, all that good stuff. And then one day I woke up and I was in a depression. And that was really what sparked it. I was not well. I was not feeling well. I was 198 pounds. And I physically was breaking down. I mean, literally to a point where my foot just cracked. I had what they call a stress fracture and had to wear a boot. And then when I wore the boot, you're off balance when you're walking. I cracked the other side because I shifted the weight to the other side. It was that bad. I'm too small frame to be so heavy. So anyway, I'm in a depression. Now I have all this weight. I was told I have arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I have plantar fasciitis. I have fibromyalgia. I have all of this stuff going on. They want to put me on cholesterol medicine. My blood pressure was out of whack. So I went to the doctor and I said, here's my problem. I have a thyroid condition. And she said, no, you have an eating condition. So I was highly offended by that statement, and I argued with her. And she told me, I will check your thyroid, but you're going to do something for me. Go home and write down everything you eat for 3 days, and don't lie and don't cheat. So if you put an M&M in your mouth, if you have something to drink, write it down, calculate it. I did not have to go past the first hour. I realized that I was easily eating 3,500 to 5,000 calories per day.
Damn.
I know. Yes, it was easy. It was simple. So just to give you an example, I would get up in the morning and I would eat a bowl of oatmeal or a Special K cereal, and then I would have some toast or English muffins. I thought that was a great breakfast. Special K, you can't pinch an inch, right? I thought I was doing good. Well, what I didn't realize is everything is serving size, everything is portion control. So I like butter on my bread. If I was eating an English muffin for breakfast, I wanted to pick up that muffin and I wanted the butter to drip off the muffin onto my finger and up my arm. I mean, I wanted to taste butter. I didn't know that a sliver of butter about as thin as my fingernail was 100 calories. I couldn't tell you how much I was eating until I really started to calculate it. So all the kidding aside, I was really in bad shape. I was breaking down, I was sick, I was unhealthy, I was miserable. I would go into my room at 8 o'clock at night and I would take my arms and I would put them under my body and lay the weight on there because the pain that was going through this body was so unbearable, and I would cry to sleep. I would wake up so many times throughout the night to go to the bathroom. But the problem was getting out of bed, because when I would wake up, I would have that pain in my feet, pain in my legs, to get off the bed I had to mentally prepare myself to stand up. That's how bad the pain was. And wobble into my bathroom. And I was just so unhappy and so sick. And there were so many other things going on. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. I was ripping through my clothes. You know, I wouldn't go and buy clothes because I knew every time I did, I would go up a size. And that really would depress me even more. So to make a story short, when I decided that I needed to make a change, I started to, it was actually Volley, you know, my daughter and myself, she was going through her own battle with her own weight. And we were filming a WXW wrestling hosting commentary event. And we had brand new high definition cameras. And so Volley did her segment, and then she was uploading it into the system and watched it. And she busted out crying. Am I that big? Am I really that big? And so I said to her, let's not cry. Let's do something about it. It's time finally to make a change.
Absolutely.
Well, this September, I am so proud to say, will be 6 years that we made a change. So between the two of us, she was about 100 and maybe 89 pounds, something to that number. I was 198, so you might as well say I was 200. We had no help from doctors. We had no knowledge of what to do. So we went and we started Googling, what can we do? How can we lose the weight? How much is a calorie? You know, how can we get on track? So we started. And I will tell you, you know, with this big Samoan family, everybody likes to eat. And you celebrate life with food. Somebody's born, we eat. They die, we eat. You know, you're in a bad mood, we eat. And then I'm Italian, so we eat. So food was a big influence and a big problem in my life. And so when we finally decided, okay, we need to figure out how to lose weight, how to get on track. So we didn't even exercise. We just cut back our calories. We decided what we wanted to eat, when we wanted to eat it. And we realized the trick. And the trick is you eat the same time every day and you eat the same amount of food every day. My body didn't know if I was eating potato chips for breakfast or if I was eating an egg for breakfast. It only knew that I was eating 200 calories for breakfast. And you could do a lot. You could do a lot with the calories. You have to become creative. You have to really want to lose the weight. And I said, you know, I had to have 3 Ds in my life to do this. I had to be determined, I had to be dedicated, and I had to be disgusted. And I was disgusted with my health, the way I felt, the poor quality of life that I was leading. And I was determined to get on track and to live the next years of my life as healthy as I could. And I was dedicated because I was so tired of being unhappy and in pain all the time and embarrassed. And, you know, people will say to you, oh, yeah, but, you know, before you lost the weight, you were still beautiful. You had a beautiful smile. And I look at them and I say, I did have a beautiful smile because I was drunk all the time. Yeah. I was drinking. I don't own an 8-ounce glass in my house, so everything I have is 24 ounces. So I was drinking what I thought was a glass of wine every night to help take the pain out of my body. But What I was really doing, I was drinking 3 glasses because, you know, each glass, 8 ounces, 24-ounce cup. Well, the wine that I drank was 300 calories because it's all sugar. So there you go, 900 calories for a glass of wine. That wasn't fixing my problem. It was putting a Band-Aid on a major wound that needed to be stitched up. And so as I started to do this with Volley and we started counting calories and Volley immediately, she gave up diet soda and she lost like 8 pounds in like, I don't know, less than a week. I sat down, I gave up wine. I lost nothing. Diet soda, nothing. I went for 30 days of staying on track, of eating healthy, of eating the right times every day and the right amount of food every day. And I didn't lose an ounce. And I was furious. And I said, I'm giving it one more day and I'm done. And I'm going back to drinking and partying and eating and enjoying my life because this sucks and it's not working. So the difference between Volley and I is 21 years, you know. For her, it was easy. My metabolism died. I missed the funeral, but it had died. So one day because I never drank water before. I was always a soda drinker. And so one day I was drinking my water and I had to go to the bathroom. So I get up, we're in the middle of WXW production, and I run to the bathroom and I start screaming, Volley, Volley, Volley. I went to the bathroom, I peed, I pulled down my pants and I peed. And she goes, I hope so, Mom. I hope you didn't pee yourself. But the joke was, I didn't unbutton my pants. I just pulled them down. I wasn't losing weight on the scale, so to speak. I was losing inches. But I didn't realize it until that one moment that I was losing weight. So my size 18s were just melting off. My clothes were melting off my body. And I didn't know that at first. So when that happened, after the first 30 days, that was it. You couldn't stop me. There was the dedication.
Wow. So, well, one, definitely congratulations on your journey. I mean, I know how it is, especially with my journey as well. It's been definitely it was definitely an uncomfortable one. What was that moment? We all have that moment when you kind of just like look at it and you kind of say, all right, I'm just done. You know what I mean? Like what was that defining moment? Was like a particular situation when you was just like, all right, I'm never going back to this again?
Yes. Oh, there's so many times, but I will tell you one. I like to keep myself, manicured. I have my nails done, and I needed to cut my toenails one day. So I was sitting in my bed, and I was like, ooh, these toenails are getting kind of long. I got to cut them. So I went to kind of stretch, to cut my toenails, and my belly got in the way. So I said, all right, let me sit up. So now I'm sitting up in the bed, and I'm going, you know how you sit on your bed and you go bend down to your toes?
Right.
It wasn't happening. So then I went into the bathroom, and I had to put my foot up on top of the toilet and the seat and then lean into it, and still my belly was getting in the way. I was humiliated. I could not believe that, and I say I allowed myself to get that big. I could not believe that there I was. And, I was a girl that, when I got pregnant with Volley, I was 103 pounds. When I was about maybe 5 months pregnant, I was still wearing a size 3. I was just having a hard time buttoning them. And I gave birth and I was 153 pounds. And I thought that I was so obese that I just could not believe the weight I was. I was 21 years old. And gave birth to this little tiny baby, and within 3 weeks, I was back in my size 3, size 5, all through my 20s, all through my 30s. In my late 30s, I started noticing a little bit here, a little bit there, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. But when you wake up and you're at a point in your life where, and I was 50, and I said, whoa, wait, I can't cut my toenails by myself. My belly is in the way. I'm losing this weight and I'm keeping it off, and I would never, ever, ever put it back. And that was it. That was my final straw where it was time for me to do this. I was embarrassed with the way I looked. I didn't feel good, all of those things that I said in the beginning, but that was what made it real.
Wow. You really, really sit back and you think about your journey, and you think about things that, kind of can happen. You'd be surprised how many things also outside of eating causes stress to your body. Because you realize that if you don't have really a lot of time a clear mind to be able to really focus on things you want to do, the stuff that you naturally are dealing with in your life, whether it's bills, stress, family, if you're in a relationship, if you're, by yourself or whatever, you realize how much things on the outside as well add to your weight gain. And people don't really people don't really talk about that. And diet has a lot as majority of it, but also the mental things that add stress, and also knowing your background. Like on my granddad's side, everybody's more heavy set. On my grandmother's side, everybody's skinny. So I just happen to take my granddad's genes. So I have to put in a little bit more extra work on my end. I have to do more cardio than maybe more people have to do. But it's all a part, it's all a part of the journey. So tell me, what have you learned about, about stress and outside things as well that can add to people's weight gain as well, outside of just the diet?
Absolutely. And all of that is so true. And that's why I always say with I Lost to Gain, it's so much more than weight loss. It's life inspired motivation. And I'll get to that. But it is so true. When I say I went through a depression, I was going through so much in my life, a lot that I'm still not even ready to put out there publicly. But I
Right.
was in a very, very bad place, a very bad depression. And I pretty much just was done. I said, well, this is going to be my life. You know, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to come home and I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to cry myself to sleep every night. And that's going to be that. And then people would say to me, you manage your stress well. I said, I don't have any stress. And they're like, everybody has stress, you know? And then I went to a program one day. And in this seminar that I was at, a workshop, the woman said, here's a circle. And I want you to break it up into categories and show me how much, you know, you have in your faith, how much you have in your work, your family time, you know, all the things you mentioned, if you're alone, whatever your situation is, your hobbies, your life, and then put it all down and let's see how balanced you really are. I was so unbalanced. I should have been flipped upside down, really walking on my head. I was so bad. And you know, when you make a decision to lose weight, I've told this story many times. There are days that I drive Volley crazy. And for those of you who don't know, Volley's my daughter. I drive her like out of her mind because I'll say, Volley, take my
Hey,
picture.
Volley.
And I'll say, take my picture. And then she takes my picture and I'm like, take another one, take another one. Mom, why? I said, because I look fat. And she looks at me and she goes, Mom, you are not fat. But you know what? I know what I look like, and I look in the mirror, and
Right.
some days I see this 130 pounds, you know, and I look good and I feel good. And other days I look in the mirror and I see 198 looking back at me. And it's always going to be there. It's always going to be a mental thing, because when I was in my depression and I had all of my stress and all my problems, all my health issues, I felt like I had no control of my life. I felt like my life wasn't mine. My life was spread out, taking care of everybody else. And so then I made this decision, it's time to take care of Lynn. You know, your life is important and you need to step up and take care of yourself if you want to live. And so, you know, when a doctor says to you, you're going to die, and I don't have any chronic illness, and she's like, you're going to die because you're not taking care of yourself. You're too young to be old. You're too young to be sick. That it makes you wake up a little bit, you know, because I really did want to live. I wanted to be alive, but I didn't feel alive. So when you finally can sit yourself down and say, okay, what is stressing me? What are my stresses? What am I concerned about? What is making me eat? Because some people, when they get stressed, they don't want to eat. They don't eat for 2-3 days. You know, they just drink coffee, smoke a cigarette, whatever. Other people, they binge eat. I've done both. I would be stressed out and I would be like, I can't eat. I'm sick. My stomach, you know, 5 minutes later, I'm shoving Twinkies down my throat faster than I can swallow them. So it's like everybody handles stress differently. When I sat down and I said, okay, obviously my health and my weight is my biggest problem, but what are all the things that are stressing me out? And I started making a list and I started writing a journal. And when I realized that there were things I could change, I could actually fix, and I could make my life a little more stress-free, I started to do those. And when I started to do that and take control, it balanced me. And so you really do have to look in the mirror, and not just at your physical appearance, what you look like. You want to look at what's causing you to be where you are.
That's absolutely true, because you know, when you think about you know, your journey to get to where you're at, you know, once you find out what are the stress points to what's causing you to eat, and you know, what is in your comfort zone that's causing you to eat, and also your diet, and also the informs that happens to your brain, that you know you can get addicted to, you know, either dairy or sugar or bad meats or whatever that you're consuming, and not adding enough exercise regimen. So I always tell people, I always inform people to get a blood test to kind of know what their bodies are, you know, accessible to. And, you know, for me and my family, it's always been sugar. I was a sugar guy. I loved candy. That was my thing.
Right.
And it took me a long time to like slowly break away from it and not consume it as much. So like I might chew sugar-free gum now or something like that when I really, really get those vices, because that's going to be my battle. Like, some people might have, God forbid, some people have battle with drug addiction. Some people have them with gambling. Some people have them with, anybody has different vices. Men vices are women. Some women's vices are men. Everybody has certain vices, and mine just happened to be food. That was my thing. And
Yes.
it took me a long time to break to that point, because I wasn't the most athletic guy, but I could always move and stuff like that. But when I started cycling, when I started riding my bike, when I started clearing my mind, because I had a lot of things going on in my personal life that was happening, and I also being a young parent definitely added to that. It definitely added a lot to me. So tell me a little bit about your brand. The brand, you obviously have the brand behind you. Tell me a little bit about the brand and when you wanted to make this an actual business, a motivational a goal. I don't know if it's actually an LLC business that you promote, but tell me a little bit about the actual brand when you say, I'm gonna market this and help other people.
Yes, and it is an LLC, I Lost to Gain. And so when I created it, the beginning, of course, the goal was to get myself and Volley healthy. And as we started doing it, all of the emotions, all of the changing, I spoke to someone who was a life coach, and that person said, you have a lot inside you that needs to come out. Why don't you just get a pen and paper and write down what's inside you, and then if you don't want to share it, burn it. I said, okay, I could do that. So I was in the back seat of the car, and Volley was driving with Julio, and I'm writing. And I always said, one of the things that I've always said to people is, the glass jar, the candle. And, you light the candle, and then when it's time to put it out, we just take the top, pop it on there, and the flame goes out. I have always felt like that jar, that flame was flickering, but it wasn't getting the oxygen, the air to keep it alive. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to get all this poison out of me so that I can go on? And it just came out, and it said, the flame was flickering in the jar. When you're living in seclusion, you don't realize who you are. And when I said that, it was like the words just kept pouring out of me. But the point was, I was living in this depression. I was living in this lonely world, and nobody knew it. I was the person that had so many people around us, the busy house, the wrestlers in and out, the family, the friends, everything. And I was always the mom, the support system, and taking care of everybody's needs. And no one knew my situation. Nobody knew how lonely and hurt and messed up I was. So anyway, when I started writing this out, I read it to Volley, and Volley said, Mom, you're not burning this. This is beautiful. This is your words. Let me clean it up a little bit, and I'm going to make it into a song for you. Well, I don't want to sing it because I'll kill you. But the song is called I Lost to Gain, and you can get it on everywhere. And Volley actually is the vocalist who sang it, and Jay Simpson did my production and music. And so anyway, the song,
she wrote the lyrics herself? She wrote the lyrics?
Well, I wrote the lyrics, but then she helped clean them up for me, because I was writing it as, just getting all that poison out of my body. And then Volley took what I wrote and she broke it up into a song for me. And so I posted a lot. I post clips when I post on my Instagram, and I will post sometimes 5, 6, 10 times in a row so that I can put pieces of the song so people can hear it. The song is available. I give it away for free. I have the DVDs. I give it to people. But the whole idea was, when I wrote that song, towards the end of the song, it says, how did you do it? Can you teach me too? And then that's when I realized I knew what to do. And so at that point, people were coming to me and they was asking me, what did you do? How did you lose the weight? Did you have weight loss surgery? Da, 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 da. And I was like, no, what I did was I got myself in check. I did the calorie count. I learned how to eat, when to eat, and what to eat. We did like payday. Every 2 weeks, you get a cheat day, as if it was a payday. And so every cheat day was worse than the cheat day before, because nothing tastes so good that you want to fall back to where you were before. So as all this was going on, I kept saying, you know, I lost all this weight. I lost all this weight. And a friend of mine said, you lost to gain. And I said, I like that. It clicked, you know, and it was like, I lost to gain. I lost the weight to gain my health, to gain my life. And so I just started sharing that message. And the more I shared it, the more people wanted to hear it. And so that's why I decided to become a certified life coach. Because first I was doing motivational speaking, and I loved that. I was doing seminars and workshops and teaching people, giving them the tools. I always tell people, I know the answers to the test. I want to give them to you. I'm not even charging you. I just want to give you these answers. I want you to be healthy, because if you're healthy, you know, we're spreading it, and you're going to spread it to someone else, and so on and so on. And the world is going to be a better place. So with all of this, I lost to gain just became my life. It became my passion. And then eventually it became a business. So what I currently do is I do seminars, I do workshops, I do a lot of videos online. I share my story. There's a magazine I have with me. You guys probably saw it on Facebook and Instagram. This is a Lake County publication, Lake County here in Florida. And they did a big spread on me. And I posted it. And it's about a 4-page spread. And it talks about bringing yourself out of the depression and having your best possible life. And so with my business, with my message, my goal, my all-time goal is to have a talk show. I would love to be like the next Ellen DeGeneres and have a show where I can bring real people on, not just celebrities and people, you know, that have all the resources to get this done. I want to bring people that struggle and suffer and sacrifice, because I knew nothing when I started this. I didn't know how to lose weight. I didn't know how to get in shape. I didn't know that I should have been exercising at the same time. So I started late. And I just feel like my I lost to gain message is, even if you don't have a weight problem, if you have other issues, we can help you. I lost to gain can help you.
Well, absolutely. You know, one, congratulations on that and everything that is, you know, so many people, it's hard for so many people to, you know, take something that could be considered negative and make it a positive in their life and have it from the positive outlooks, because a lot of times when we see challenges like this and know what we have to face, you have to tap into something. This is what I call like the Batman and Joker type energy. And I hope people understand what I'm trying to say this, and you'll understand what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to tap into something within yourself, even a very dark place. Because sometimes for me to stay motivated, I use it as a positive to make it motivation. But for me, I have to tap into something in my life that hurts me very, very much. But I don't outwardly show it to other people, but it's just part of what motivates me. It's like, you know, I feel like around my kids and other people, I'm like Batman. You know, I try to be as, you know, I try to save the world, give people positive energy, but I have to tap into my Joker sometimes in order to be able to stay motivated, because complacency sometimes can be literally the worst thing. You start seeing results and then you start slacking a little bit, and the 5 pounds come on, the 10 pounds come on. And you have to, for me, I have to tap into that different side in order to stay motivated. And one thing I want to ask you as well is, first, before I say that, congratulations on the magazine too. That is amazing. That's a blessing. You know, a lot of people, that is a major blessing. I don't want to skip past that. So for the future, like, what is something with your brand that you're trying to take? I know you said you're a certified life coach and everything like that. How, you know, on your talk show, and tell me a little bit more about the future. Where do you see your brand going in the next, let's say 5 years, 5-year plan? Where in the next 5 years do you see your brand?
Absolutely. So I would love to continue to do my seminars and my workshops. I would love to travel. I would like to go and speak to men and women alike. I want to reach kids. I feel like when I was a kid, you know, when you came home and you got the milk and cookies to do your homework, my parents thought that they were, you know, doing the right thing. I'm trying to teach kids today, milk and cookies are good, but not every day, you know.
Right,
Let's put
right.
the food on the table. I'm trying to reach kids when they're young, because I feel like a lot of times, especially in today's world, we are so busy working 2, 3, 4 jobs, trying to balance our life, and our kids get slighted. And so it's so easy to go through a drive-through or throw something in a microwave. I feel like people today don't cook anymore, you know,
Mhm.
and it's not their fault that they're not doing it. It's just the time, the life, the everything that's involved with it. So I want to reach kids, because if you can get them when they're young and you can teach them good habits, then they're going to grow to be healthy teenagers and healthy adults. I tell my friends that have kids or have nieces and nephews, take them to the gym, take them to the park, get them active, you know, get them involved. Because if you get involved young, you're going to fall in love with the results, and you're going to do it through your whole life. It becomes, habit becomes, you know, what you become. So that is one of the things I want to work with kids much more. I want to work with people that are stuck at home, that are bedridden, that are not able to get up and get out. I want to bring motivation and support to them. I want them to know that they're not alone. I understand the struggles. I may not have been in their particular situation, but I know my situation. And I know that if I'm able to reach more people and spread what I'm doing, people that I talk to, there's so many examples that I can put out there of people that tell me things you don't understand because you look like that. And then I pull out my phone. This was me 5, 6 years ago. You know, I understand. I know what it feels like. And I want to share that message. I want to be able to sit down with people and hold their hand and go to colleges and go to seminars and do all of those things. I like to be one-on-one with people. And I want to be able to share. And I also know that I can stay inspired and motivated because I remember where I was. And I never want to go back there. And that's what keeps me motivated. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like whatever you have to tap in, you know, for your level of motivation, as long as it's used as a positive source, you know, and it's able to help others and bring other people to, you know, that point to where they say, okay, you know, what can I do to stay positive? Like for me, my therapy is making music. I'm literally in the studio once a week. Like I have to be there. I kind of don't have one in my house because I don't think I would be able to, like, I know that my self-control on not being in the studio yet in my home is not there because I love it so much that my time would be there. So I don't have one in my home yet. I always just book time and go because I know like that is my sanctuary. Like if I can get like an hour or two of that per week and just create, I'm at my happiest. Obviously doing a podcast and doing all the stuff that I'm doing, it just makes me, you know, that has been where I channeled my energy. And one thing I want to say to you as well is, you know, you've been motivating me. You know, I've been watching and you've been motivating me every time that we've interacted, and I've come to shows. You've shown me nothing but the most absolute love. You, WXW, you guys literally put me on the map, and it has done so much for me to say that one, you know, that I'm family with you guys, that I know you guys. You guys have always co-signed me. The whole family co-signs me, shows me love, and to see what you're doing with this brand is just, it's inspiring me to keep going. I have my off days as well. I'm not perfect, and you know, for my kids, for you know my granddad and my a couple people who's had heart diseases and strokes and heart attacks. It keeps me on the right path to say, hey, you know what? She's shown me nothing but love, and her family has. It keeps me on the right path, and knowing that being Italian and African American, we both have a lot of the same parallels. That we don't grow up with a lot of the knowledge on a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
As far as food, a lot of our cultures we don't. So just to see what you've done, it motivates me. It keeps me going. I'm always watching. And it means so much to me to be able to follow your journey. And thank you for everything, truthfully.
Thank you. It really means a lot. And I'm so happy that I've inspired you. You know, we love you. When you came to us, we were so proud of you for what you were starting with the music and the wrestling. And we still use that WXW song. You know that. We love that. That's forever. But yeah, I really appreciate everything. I appreciate you being interested and helping me to share my message, because I feel that the more people that know that we're here and we're able to do this, the more people we can touch. And that's my goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you tell everybody your social medias, where they can follow you, what's going on next in this quarantine time, if you have anything coming up, and where everybody can see what's coming up next in your journey?
Absolutely. So for social media, I have the Facebook. I have it's I Lost to Gain. I have Instagram. I Lost to Gain. I also have my name, Lynn Anoai, I Lost to Gain on YouTube, and I have a Twitter, which Bali is going to help me correct the name on there, but hopefully it's going to be I Lost to Gain. But I'm still learning all that social media stuff. But they can find me out there. Just type my name in, it'll come up. I Lost to Gain. That's my hashtag. Hashtag I Lost to Gain. So September, I have a health fair coming up at the Mineola City Hall. We hope. So far, it's up and running as long as we are still able to get out there. Every day things are changing, so we're hoping that things stay open, but that will be, it's all posted on my social media as well. You can find it there. Also, I'm working on some other events as well for the new year. I figured that this year kind of needs to lay low a little bit. Yeah, I just finished my third book, but I'm working on a children's book, so I want to get that published, and that's going to be more for kids' recipes and snacks and activities and things like that. I'm going to continue with my motivation. I'm starting to do a lot of contests. I'm doing online cooking samples just to show people how easy it is to whip up breakfast in like 5 minutes and eat healthy. I'm talking to some people to do some collaboration. So once that's a little more cemented, then I'll be able to share those, hopefully. And I'm just going to keep working towards those dreams of spreading the word and getting the talk show going.
Well, absolutely. It'll all come together. I mean, I believe in the law of attraction, and if you thoroughly believe in something and you have the positive mindset about it and you believe in it, I mean, you know, who knows what, you know, where you were 5-6 years ago to now being a certified life coach, owning your own LLC, being a part of an amazing brand that you have created and something for yourself. I always believe that we have to have something for ourselves that we do need for ourselves, something that we feel. Something that is separate from everyone else. Collaborations is great for different things, but you got to have something that you can wake up in the morning and feel proud about for yourself. So once again, I thank you for coming on. I love you. I love you, Mom. I love you to death. Keep pushing what you're doing. And anything that you need from me, I'm always available. I'm about to go exercise right now, actually.
Me too, when I'm done with you. I know you can't see it on here now, but there's my I Lost the Game. I always have it on. That's my motivation. Absolutely. I'm getting ready to do an hour treadmill too. But thank you for having me on, and I love you too. And you stay well and stay healthy. I will talk to you soon. And as I always say, growing older is mandatory, but growing up is optional. Take care of yourselves. Love. I Lost the Game. Thank you very much. I love you, Lynn. Thank you. Love you too.